Hi friends, FirearmPop here, and today I have another edition of Armed Citizen. Again, coming right out of NRA publication, Freedom First. Another plug for the NRA if you're not a member and you want to preserve your rights and freedoms as it pertains to the Second Amendment. I strongly urge you to join and support the NRA. Now, again, this is coming right out of Armed Citizens. Been a few interesting stories today. Okay, getting right to it. The first story is just after midnight, a married couple awoke to discover that three men were banging on the front door and repeatedly ringing on the doorbell. Both husband and wife were avid target shooters and each retrieved a handgun before quietly creeping toward the front of the house to investigate. For a moment it appeared that the men would leave, but instead they drove their car down the driveway closer to the home. At that point the husband dialed 911 and two men resumed beating on the front door while a third moved to the back door and beat on it with increased urgency. The husband aimed his .32 caliber pistol at the back door and his wife did the same with her .38 caliber pistol. When the suspect forced the door open, the husband opened fire. The shots caused all three suspects to flee the scene, and that happened in South Carolina. Okay. In Jackson, Mississippi, police spokesman Mr. Green said she's seen an increase in the number of armed citizens protecting their homes and businesses. They're going to protect themselves. That's why the Castle Doctrine law is in effect, Green said, noting several incidents in recent months during which Jackson homeowners have shot would-be burglars. In the latest such incident, 4 suspects allegedly kicked down the door to a home and ordered the family inside to lie on the floor. The homeowner quickly retrieved his gun and opened fire, shooting 3 of the suspects. The wounded suspects were arrested at the hospital. The 4th is still being sought, and that was in Jackson, Mississippi. They're not such easy prey, are they? Okay. Anyway, the father realized, and this one really tugs at the heartstring. Every parent out there has to take notice of this scene. A father realized his worst fear when an unknown male intruder broke into his home and entered his 15-year-old daughter's bedroom. Okay, alerted by the family's dog's barking, one good reason to keep a dog, the father went to check on his daughter and discovered that someone was holding her door shut. Unfortunately, the daughter remained asleep, oblivious to the traumatic event. The father ran to another part of the home and got his handgun. Returning to his daughter's room, he forced the door open, ordered the intoxicated suspect to the ground, and held him at gunpoint for the police. And that happened in Decatur, Illinois. Another Illinois, not a gun-friendly state. Anyway, knocking at a home at 1:30 a.m., a pair of alleged burglars did not receive a prompt answer. They left with plans to return in 90 minutes. Unbeknownst to them, the homeowner answered the door after being aroused from bed, but they found they were gone. The suspects returned, and one of them attempted to force open a sliding glass door while the other pried at a window. The homeowner heard the suspects and got a pistol to investigate. Upon discovering the suspects at the door, he fired 1 shot. Both suspects fled. The wounded suspect died nearby, and his accomplice was arrested. Salt Lake City, Utah. Okay. While returning to their car after visiting a cemetery, an 82-year-old man and his 76-year-old wife were accosted by a man wearing a mask. The suspect drew an illegally possessed gun and ordered the couple to the ground, but his elderly targets were no easy victims. The husband, who has a concealed carry permit, drew a .22 caliber revolver from his pocket. The suspect took cover behind a pine tree and both men opened fire. The husband's shots forced the suspect to retreat from the area. Police arrested the suspect and an alleged accomplice, aided by a witness who described the getaway car as white with abnormally loud muffler. And that happened in South Carolina. Hassan Malai was working at the internet cafe he owns when a bizarre crime unfolded. An alleged robber burst inside, pulled out a water bottle filled with gasoline. He threw gas on Malai and waved a lighter while demanding money. He obviously gave the clerk the impression he was going to be set on fire. The Seminole County, Florida Police Lieutenant Clark Malai drew a handgun and fired several shots at the suspect, causing him to run out of the store. And that was reported in MSNBC. Police said 6 men with ties to California's Serrano gang drove into a rural area intent on committing burglaries. 6 men. Maybe they thought there wouldn't be a strong police presence outside the city, but they forgot an important detail. Many rural homes contain firearms and folks who know how to use them. The gang members burst into a home and were immediately greeted by gunfire. One suspect was killed, the second was shot several times, and the remaining four fled back to the city. Police arrested 5 surviving suspects, and that happened in Sacramento, California. There you have it, friends. More armed citizens not being sheep, but are actual wolves in sheep clothing. And for all you would-be suspects out there, you better think twice. America's waking up and standing up for their rights and not becoming sheep. Okay? I'm Pop. Well, this is Fire on Pop. Be safe out there, and God bless. Bye now.